All right, so here he is, the #1 middleweight contender. He made himself undeniable, and tonight he gets a title shot. We shall see what he can do with it.
Yeah, he made himself undeniable. You know, nothing is ever guaranteed. Sometimes you got to do more. He just kept his head down. He kept working. Whoever they put in front of him, he beat them. And ultimately, he finds himself on the verge of a championship. The preparation has been thorough. The preparation has been very intense. And he feels like they have done everything necessary to become the champ tonight.
Now, most people would argue right now the UFC's 185-pound division has never been stronger, and a lot of people believe that this man is going to alter history by wresting the title away tonight. We shall see. This fighter has read the Marquess of Queensberry rules cover to cover. Truly one of the best boxers we have in the UFC today, and he works everything off of that jab.
Oh yeah, the jab is what got him to the show. He is just a phenomenal boxer, and John, I love you throwing out the Queensberry rules in the walkout for this man because he signifies everything that is boxing. He's a guy that loves the sport. He wanted to take boxing on his back and bring it to mixed martial arts and show that it is as an effective form of combat as anything else. He said, I'll walk away from an Olympic opportunity to take my sport into the octagon and show that we are the best fighters in the world. And he's done that to this point in the UFC.
Well, they're all chasing the great Demetrius Johnson, but this man believes when all's said and done, he might go down as the greatest flyweight champion of all time. Tonight, a chance to join that elite class and realize his first UFC belt.
Yeah, he's trying to become the champion of the division that has had some really good champions, from Demetrius Johnson to Davison Figueiredo to Brandon Moreno. The list of fantastic champions at flyweight is not very long, but he feels that he can stand atop all those guys by the time his career is done. But it all starts tonight. You gotta win in your first opportunity.
And he did tell us this week he felt like the champion at times was ducking him, but the win streak became so long that there was no denying this title shot. Now we see what he can do with it.
But he feels
All right, so here he is, one of the more popular fighters on this UFC roster, top to bottom, the heavyweight contender, the Black Beast, Houston's finest, Derrick Lewis.
Yeah, Derrick Lewis is a phenomenal fighter, but he's just a fighter at heart. From the hardships that he had as a kid to his youth, developing and overcoming so much adversity to become a guy that has fought for the UFC Heavyweight Championship is truly inspiring for anyone that looks up to Derrick Lewis. But not only is the story very good, the fighting skill is there to match.
And he's got that old school break your face open type of power, and he'll look to put it to good use in this matchup here tonight. the former UFC bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz. I feel like it's kind of unfair that he's not here to defend himself against you as he's making this walk, but ubiquitously regarded, DC, as the best bantamweight of all time.
I love that word, ubiquitously or whatever. I don't know how to say it.
You nailed it.
It's beautiful, but if you're going to talk about someone and use that word, it needs to be Dominic Cruz, because he really is one of the greatest fighters this division has ever seen. One of the smartest guys that have ever been around. He fights with me constantly at the commentary table.
He does.
But I love it because I feel like it brings out the most in both of us. And when Dominic Cruz is challenged, he always steps up. That's why he's been so successful in his mixed martial arts career.
We talk a lot about the footwork, the cardio, the striking. The one thing Dominic will tell you, if he needs to take a beating and lean on that heart and that toughness, he is more than willing to do so. Good to see Dom Cruz back on the proving ground here tonight. Dominic Cruz, set to fight TJ Dillashaw. Well, Floyd Mayweather talks a lot about hard work and dedication, and that has been the root of this light heavyweight contender getting back to a championship fight. We'll see what he does with it here tonight, champ.
He's a grinder, John, and you knew that he would get back here. You knew that he would find a way to put himself right back on the verge of becoming the man. He has seen it before. He has done it. He has been here. He recognizes and knows that the changes necessary were done in the gym. He's ready. He's prepared. He's sure. He knows in his mind that by the end of the night, he's holding championship gold.
And there was a time when this division was top heavy. Now the top 15 is absolutely loaded. He has emerged out of that pack. We'll see if he becomes the new champion here tonight. All right, so here he is, the #1 UFC middleweight contender, and in this era, that's saying something, right? To get through this gauntlet and emerge out of the pack, realize a UFC title shot, now the world finds out what exactly this man can do with it.
You know, John, as we've spoken about, it's shark-infested waters trying to manage and navigate through this division. It's one thing to get here, and it's a major accomplishment, but to become the champion is a whole nother level. This guy feels like in his thorough preparation, the intensity at which he moves in the training room, he is more than ready to take the belt off the champion's waist.
And you can be sure when the champion comes out at a moment, challengers' eyes will be fixed upon him. We got a middleweight title fight tonight, folks. Let's go.
To take the belt off the champion's waist.
And you can be sure when the champion comes out at a moment, challengers' eyes will be fixed upon him. We got a middleweight title fight tonight, folks. Let's go. Here is Dustin Poirier making the walk for yet another big UFC spot here tonight. UFC 236 was his coming out party, DC. He ended Max Holloway's 13-fight winning streak, and in a near-perfect performance in a lot of respects, was able to realize a UFC interim lightweight title.
They say diamonds are forever, and so is Dustin Poirier. It seems like he's been here the whole time. We've seen this young man grow up in the UFC. We saw him at 145 pounds have a ton of success, but we've truly seen him come into his own as he's going up to lightweight. He's become a UFC interim champion, and he's beaten guys like Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, and Max Holloway. One of the best fighters at 155 is Dustin Poirier.
And with Dustin Poirier and Daniel Cormier, safe to say that Lafayette, Louisiana has made a pretty good UFC footprint over the last few years.
I love it.
Dustin Poirier back on the proving ground here tonight. All right, so here he is, one of the best lightweights in the world, Dustin Poirier, putting that status on the line yet again here tonight. Great frame for this lightweight division. It's amazing to think he had as much success at featherweight as he did. Long arms, good footwork, nice submissions as well. This is truly a 5-tool player.
Yes, he's one of the best fighters in the lightweight division, and it shows every time he steps foot in the octagon. And a victims list. That includes Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. You know when you're looking at Dustin Poirier that he is one of the best fighters in the UFC's lightweight division and has the frame to compete up, and he's shown that before he was a featherweight. So a guy that may compete over 3 weight classes over his UFC's career.
And we remind you, when he faced Max Holloway at UFC 236 for the interim lightweight title, Holloway came in with a 13-fight winning streak that Poirier promptly ended that fateful night in Atlanta, Georgia. Proudly repping Kill Clip FC and the Institute of Human Performance, here is the welterweight contender, Gilbert Durinho Burns. Realized a lot of success at 155 pounds before moving up, but certainly most would argue we have seen the best out of Gilbert Burns at 170 pounds.
Well, he doesn't have to deal with the weight cut anymore. He was a big 55-pounder, maybe a little small at 170, but his skill set translates, and it really does work in his division. He is a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, but it's his striking that has impressed me the most. The improvements he has made down in South Florida allow for him to not only compete with the best, but to earn victories most times he goes in there.
You're absolutely right, made his UFC debut back in 2014, challenged for the title in 2021. A lot of fans believe he'll get back there. Gilbert Durinho Burns steps inside the octagon. He is ready to fight. Challenge for the title in 2021. A lot of fans believe he'll get back there. All right, folks, does not get a whole lot bigger nor better than this. UFC light heavyweight championship fight is upon us, and all eyes are on the incumbent as he makes this walk for his latest title defense tonight.
He is walking once again as the light heavyweight champion of the world. The UFC's glamour division long has this been viewed as the division with the most talented guys, because you're not quite heavyweight, you're just right underneath it. This guy is a champion in the highest order. He has defended this belt time and time again, and he intends to extend that streak tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't all that long ago that this belt was vacant. It was changing hands seemingly every other title fight. Now this man is holding it down and looking to dispose of another challenger properly tonight. As beloved as it gets, Glover Teixeira, ready to go, and so are we for our main event. Down and looking to dispose of another challenger properly tonight. All right, so here's the legend, George St. Pierre, former UFC welterweight champion, former UFC middleweight champion, and DC as one of the most decorated wrestlers on this UFC roster. You got to be pretty amazed at what this man has been able to accomplish without any amateur wrestling credentials to speak of.
Yeah, with no background, the guys that he's been in there with and controlled the wrestling exchanges has truly been unbelievable to watch. I was in Canada when he fought Josh Koscheck, and he took Josh Koscheck, who was an NCAA champion, down whenever he needed to.
Right.
But it was also the striking that made him so dangerous. I remember George St. Pierre had this combination. There was a lead jab, a lead Superman jab, and then the leg kick. Everyone wanted to try and do it, and they say imitation is the greatest form of getting a compliment. We all tried to be George St. Pierre.
And he's got more ESPYs than you.
He does. He's a man.